Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Divine Feminine Oracles on Beyond Mystic and on Maison Jupiter. And I'm here with my two soul sisters. I'm Julie from Maison Jupiter, and I'm here, of course, with the beautiful Meg and Sophie. First of all, let me start by saying hi, Meg. Welcome to the show, and let us know how you've been doing recently.
Wow. Well, it feels like so much is going on, and we just had a Gregorian New Year. And by the way, hi, everybody. Hi, Julie, Sophie, and everyone. I'm very happy to be reunited with you guys today. I had a really nice and needed holiday break where I feel really rejuvenated now. I spent lots of quality time with my family, which I haven't done in a really long time. My brother has a newborn baby, so I've been spending a lot of time with my niece, Betty, and she's so cute, and it's been so magical. She's a little Capricorn with her moon in Gemini, so she's an interesting character. So just been having a lot of fun with that and getting really excited about this year coming up, all the astrology we got going on, things that are coming up. So I've been looking at different charts and things and really excited for what we've got in store.
Oh, very exciting. Thank you, Meg. Well, I'm very excited that you're joining us as well. And like we're the original trio of the Divine Feminine Oracles. Well, not the original, but the traditional trio, shall we say. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are very excited to be here with you as well. Okay, let me now welcome you, Sophie, my real sister in this lifetime. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm good. I had a wonderful time. Of course, I'm very lucky to have Julie as my sister. So during the Christmas time, I love to spend time with her. And if you don't know it, for a lot of years now, I don't know how long you can tell me if you remember, for a few years now, we have been doing tarot, numerology, astrology at Christmas and every big event with the family. So it's our typical Christmas time. And I just love that tradition. So I'm very, very grateful for a wonderful time with my lovely sister, Julie.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, you're right. We've been starting this tradition every holiday season, Christmas Day or Eve, Christmas Eve, I mean. And we've been starting to read the cards for each other for the beginning of the next year. So it's been like our new little tradition for, I don't know, I don't remember, Sophie, maybe I would say the last 5 years. Does that make sense?
5 or 6 years is what I had in mind.
Yeah, and this one's been interesting. So it seems like we're gonna have a very, let's say, intense year full of changes. And I'm thinking of Pluto when I'm saying that. And we just also recorded the Astro for the month of January on the Maison Jupiter channel and on the Beyond Mystic channel as well. So if you guys watch the Astro, then you probably understand what I'm talking about. We have a new moon in Capricorn, which we'll be talking about today, which is very beautiful. And it's going to be in 2 days from now, so on January 11th. And then at the end of January, we're going to have a full moon. And both lunation make a very tight aspect to Pluto, which is the planet of big changes, revolutions, secrets being revealed. And also in January, we're going to have Pluto moving signs going back into the sign of Aquarius. So I think like Pluto seems to be very much emphasized for everybody right now. Does that make sense for you, Meg, with what you're observing, maybe in your consultations, maybe in your personal life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I just shared with you guys before we came on, I kind of had an insight before coming on with Julie and Sophie that we talk a lot about Pluto and Capricorn in the last degrees is really intense for, revealing of the power structure and the governments and the politics and all that, which it really is. But I just kind of had a realization where, Capricorn rules reality and reality checks. And Pluto amplifies things, brings power to whatever sign it's in. And this is the last critical and anaretic degree that also brings out the cleansing of toxicity that Pluto rules as well. So I'm really noticing with myself and the people closest to me and clients, there's really intense cleansing going on the past week or two of toxicity in our lives that we maybe didn't want to face before. But it feels like Pluto going into Aquarius on January 20th is like a huge timeline shift. And I think a lot of us are being upgraded into new timelines, but we have to let go of certain things that have been toxic in our life. And for everybody, that can be something different. That can be behavioral patterns or relationships or, things having to do with work, whatever it is. But I really have been feeling that strong. There's like things coming forward for us to face, whether we like it or not. And when Pluto's involved, it's like there's no looking back. You can fake it with Pluto. When you have Pluto transits, or the whole collective right now has Pluto 29 degrees of Capricorn, like really intense. You can pretend like there's not something showing itself, but that'll be even harder than if you just face it and deal with it and do the Capricorn reality check. So I hope that makes sense.
It does make sense, Meg, and I think you said it perfectly. I think we're all experiencing that in one shape or form in our personal lives, and also in the collective, as all of you shall know by now. Like, we are experiencing a big death and rebirth, and also it is showing up on our personal lives. So, and thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. He's saying congrats on the new house. Thank you so much. So I'm still not 100% settled. I know I said that when we filmed the Astro, so I'm still working on that. But yeah, it's a death and rebirth also in my life. I'm changing places. So I'm trying to find like a new routine. I'm trying to find like how I'm doing stuff, like where am I eating, how I'm doing everything, like, is kind of changing. So it's a big Plutonian moment in my life, but I feel very good about it. Hi to Sam. I saw Sam in the background.
Yeah.
She wants to show herself.
Yes, she's a nightmare for the past 2 weeks. So sorry for the noise.
No problem. She wants to participate. It's fine.
Yeah. But
I
while
love
I'm on the screen, I would like to add to it, if I can. 2024 is the number 8 in numerology, and it's associated with Scorpio, right? In the house, so Pluto, and it's also a big energy just in general. That number 8, I think it's a lot of change coming in, right, Julie? The number 9, the number 8. Wow. Yeah, a lot of change. So it's just adding on to it, because last year we were on this number 7, and last year was more internal and just looking inwards, what we want to change. And now it's boom, it's happening.
That does make a lot of sense. And also 8, I think, is a very karmic number. I know traditional numerology from 1 to 9, and looking at numerology, let's say, in connection to astrology, is different, because astrology is based on 12. But still, I feel really this connection with 8 being a very scorpionic number. And it's the infinity also. So I feel like it's very karmic, and it's like, you're getting back to your own path, going through transformation. So it makes a lot of sense what you're bringing up, Sophie. And right before we continue, because we have a lot to talk about, we're going to be talking about the new moon in Capricorn in just 2 days from now. And also we'll be taking your questions towards the end of the show. I just wanted to share right here, we are live on Maison Jupiter YouTube channel, as well as Beyond Mystic YouTube channel. So also please give us a like wherever you're watching this from. It really helps us and support us into creating more original shows like this one. And if you haven't watched our previous Astro Roo for the month of January, it's your time to do so. Very good comments. We went a bit long for this one, but I put some timestamps, because in the first part of the show, we're going through all the collective alignments with the astrology for everybody else. But also towards the second part of the show, we're talking about each of the 12 zodiac signs. So if you'd like to get more personalized predictions for your own rising sign or sun sign, go check out this Astro Roo. We put a lot of love and time into it. And of course, I would like to talk to you about this. So if you'd like to get even more personalized prediction or answers to your questions, because I know whenever we're going through like a period of time where a lot of stuff is shifting in our personal lives, it's really a good feeling to have an oracle or someone that can support us with their guidance And Meg and Sophie are really the best if you're looking at having some personal questions answered. So you can book right now on MaisonJupiter.com. And of course, if you use Beyond Mystic as a coupon code when you get to checkout, you're going to get 10% off your next reading. So Sophie, of course, is using the tarot cards, the oracle cards, and also her intuitive gifts. And Meg is using astrology and also her intuitive gifts. So I hope I said that well, ladies. And what did I want to say here? Oh, yes. And we're going to have a beautiful candle from Elena at Maison Jupiter from one of you lucky supporters for tonight's show. And if you'd like to get your question answered toward the end of the show, you can leave us a super chat here on the Maison Jupiter YouTube channel, and we'll get to the questions later on. And we'll also have a beautiful gift for one of you lucky supporters. And tonight it's going to be, where is it? The creativity candle. So I felt like with all this Plutonian energy, we needed to really be powerful in our solar plexus chakra. And this is the candle that activates the solar plexus. This is the creativity. It's lilac, lemon, and green tea. Beautiful, beautiful scent. And of course, these candles are handmade, infused with full moon charged crystal by Elena. So she put a lot of love into her creations. And also, if you'd like to order his candles, of course, you can use the same coupon code Beyond Mystic in one word to get 10% off your next order. That's on MaisonJupiter.com, of course. All right. So that being said, let's now talk about this new moon. And I'm really excited about it because I feel like it's one of the best, probably, lunation of the year. I feel like it's got all the positive aspects to it. It's really near the 1st of January, so the beginning of the Gregorian year, which is usually the time where we're being told that we need to manifest. But this new moon is actually a really good manifestation period in portal. It's going to be on January 11th, so it makes a 111, even more manifestation power over there. I have the chart over here, but I want to start by asking you, Meg, what do you think and how do you feel about this new moon? And then we can go ahead with the slide.
I am so excited about this new moon, and I've been talking about it for the whole past week since we were preparing for our January Astro Woo. Julie and we were looking at the lunations for January and everything going on, and we were looking deep into this new moon chart, and it's like, this is, I don't know if it can get really any better than a chart like this. It's so fantastic. And I haven't had the chance to look through all the new moons for 2024 yet. It takes a lot of time. I'm going to, but haven't had the chance to do that yet. But this might really be the best one for manifestation, and not just manifestation that is kind of like quick fixes, manifestation of long-term goals and commitments, which is what I'm so excited about, because Capricorn in astrology is things that last a long time and commitment, right? So it's not so much I'm manifesting, a new car or a new color for my door or a new outfit. It's like more long-term things. I'm committing to this new entrepreneurship or this new value of mine or this new way of being. It's really long-term commitment. So I'm so excited for that. I think we really need to make time as conscious people to also envision at this new moon, if we're open to it, the future of humanity and send out positive intentions as well, not just our own personal ones, but a new moon like this, I think, is a very powerful amplifier of manifestation for positive timelines for the whole collective. So I absolutely love it. There's like so many good aspects to it. We did a deep dive on the latest Astro Woo for it, but Saturn, the dispositor of the new moon, because Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, has all amazing aspects. Saturn is almost exactly sextile Jupiter, and Saturn is also sextile Mars, which is exalted in Capricorn. So it's like so much good stuff. And it's amazing. I'm so happy in astrology when you see Saturn, one of the malefic planets, or Pluto in good aspects, because when they're in not good aspects, it can really make things difficult and tense. But with Saturn in good aspects, it's like long-lasting foundations, commitments, also reality checks. I think that's a really important thing with this new moon, is being realistic about what you can actually create. Because the thing about Saturn and Capricorn is that energy doesn't give you anything for free. Okay, Saturn and Capricorn do not give you things for free. You have to work at it. So this new moon in Capricorn, it's not like putting out an intention of, I want the love of my life to come in 2 weeks. What are you going to do about that? Right? It's fine to put that intention out, but what are you actually going to take the action every day to help create that? That's what Capricorn's all about. So I think those are some good things to keep in mind with this new moon.
Yeah, I love it. And thank you so much. Well, that was a really great recap. And you're totally right when you talk about Capricorn and Saturn being this energy of you don't have anything for free. You need to work at it every single day. And Saturn's the planet of repetition. It's the planet of discipline, being consistent in the efforts that you put in the 3D world in order to get to your goals. That's the energy of Capricorn and Saturn. So whenever Saturn is well aspected like it is during this new moon, it's the time also to do it, but looking at long term. And so anything that is started near this new moon can be really sustained in the long term if we put in the work. So I think it's very positive, and especially for all the Capricorns out there, Capricorn rising, Capricorn moon, Capricorn sun. I know you guys have been going through it all, especially last year. Not over still, like almost over, because Pluto's finalizing its transit into your sign. But I think it's going to be a big release for all the Capricorns out there. And let me get to my slide. And after, Sophie, I'll ask you to pull some cards for the energies of this new moon. So yeah, as you said, Meg, we deep dive on it during the Astro, a very positive new moon, important decision-making portal. And why do we say that it's a decision-making portal is because this new moon is T-squaring the nodes. So you see like here, the sun and the moon are at 20 degrees of Capricorn. And here are our karmic nodes, the lunar nodes, north node at 20 degree Aries and south node at 20 degree Libra. So that's making what we call a T-square, the focal point of that T-square being the new moon. So all of that really karmic energy is like intention together in order for us to have a breakthrough with that new moon energy somewhere in our chart. And if you want to know where it is in your chart, you can look at the Astro. We went through all the 12 zodiac signs. But this is why this is such an important portal of making decisions for the long term, because a lot of past karma is being dissolved with the South Node, and a lot of future karma, or let's say our sense of purpose for the future, is being triggered at this time with our decision process. Also, it is a sign of Capricorn. So of course, we're going to be talking a lot about career, work, projects, and anything that has to do with the future, the long term, is also Capricorn. So a new professional cycle begins. We're feeling ambitious, career-oriented, driven, or just driven towards reaching our goals, which is also Capricorn. And as you said, Meg, Mars is recently entered Capricorn. It is exalted in the sign of Capricorn. So it is a really, really powerful placement for Mars. And Mars is our drive, our energy, our action. So this Mars in Capricorn is bringing hard work and passion towards our goal and priorities, which is Capricorn. So a lot of stamina, energy to accomplish what we wish to. And also this new moon, let's not forget, is kind of close to Pluto, 9 degrees away from Pluto being at its last degree in the sign of Capricorn. So there could be some power struggles there. As you said, Meg, earlier, I think reality check might be the accurate way to frame this displacement. Also, it could deal with power issues. Empowering yourself and freeing yourself from constraints also, I think, is a big theme that I'm feeling for this one. And as I said here, this is a big choice point. New direction can be taken around this new moon. Important decisions to make regarding Capricorn themes. Karmic events also can happen in your life. Things that you feel like you don't have 100% control over, which can be defined by the karmic nodes. I was going to say lunar nodes and nodes at the same time.
Can I just pause for a second?
Yeah.
Can I ask you, because it's Capricorn, can it be also about the father relationship?
Yeah, that's such a good point. Yeah, definitely. So Capricorn is also, yeah, it can represent your father. It can represent a father figure, so someone that feels like a father, or it's also the sign of authority and your boss. So an authority figure, your boss. If you work for a company, it could be the management or the executive, let's say management of the company could be Capricorn. So really good point. So for some people, it could also mean that their relationship to their father is changing, or their relationship to their boss or any kind of authority figure, or their relationship with the government. That can also be Capricorn. Such a good point. Thank you, Sophie. So we can have a lot of those kind of karmic outside events coming into our lives in order for us to shift. That can also be what the lunar nodes can bring into the mix. Time to make important adjustments and course correct for the future. So this one I'm feeling a lot right now. Also, it's a really good time to balance out your professional life versus your personal life, which is also this Cancer Capricorn axis, and to really balance out what you want for yourself, Aries, where the North Node is, what you want for your relationship, where the South Node is at the moment in Libra, and what do you want for your future goals. So really time to think about what do you want and what are your expectations for work, for your relationship as well. So these three angles are where the T-square is happening right now for everybody. And then we have beautiful aspects from Neptune, Uranus, and Jupiter. So what more can we ask? So first of all, new moon is making a sextile to Neptune, which is in its higher frequencies, a planet of forgiveness, of love. So a lot of support from our loved ones, to support our plans, our long-term plans. And also trying to Uranus, meaning that changes are supported at this time. And also journeying towards more independence is also supported, going onto your own path. And Saturn, which you mentioned, Meg, is making a sextile to Jupiter. So really, really positive for long-term projects, for abundance in general. Anything that is started near this new moon could have a lot of success if, of course, the work is put into it, because it's Capricorn. All of that being said, let me know, guys, in the chat if that resonates with you, if you have been feeling already this the energy of this new moon. And I'd like to bring you, Sophie, on if you have any comments, and if you're feeling this new moon, and also if we could pull some cards for what you're getting from your guidance.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because I got that exact same message on my Beyond Tarot yesterday. And what you're bringing in with the astrology makes total sense. It completes completely what was missing, the missing piece of the puzzle, which was, I think, the new moon is the portal. This is when we need to act. So the cards, if you watch the Beyond Tarot, guys, it was about just feeling drained, and then needed to just to maybe pause, review, taking a distance, think the bigger picture on some places where you give and you don't receive as much as you used to, and cutting the cards with that. So let's take cards about what do we need to know on this new moon that is coming. Okay. King of Cups, Divine Feminine, the Empress. And then the last card. Oh my God. Okay. King of Cups, the Empress, the Divine Feminine card. So it's going to be extremely emotional, but you're going to have access to your intuition. And that's where you need to focus, is that in this time, I think you're going to, I know it's very masculine energy, Capricorn and Saturn and everything, but those two cards are making me feel that we're going to be able to tap into emotions and being able to discern through our intuition and feelings. Where do we feel respected? Where don't we feel respected? Because if you feel sadness or anger, sometimes it's just because you're not being respected in your boundaries. And it's important that you know it. And it's important that you respect it. The last two cards, it's Six of Pentacles, equal give and take, and where it's not being respected with the Devil, where maybe you have temptation because it's easier, it's you're bound to somebody else, Or is it because it's tempting with the money? Whatever it is for you guys, seeing where you don't have the balance, where it's not equal give and take, where it's not a partnership that makes sense and a healthy partnership. I'm saying partnership, but when I saw this card also yesterday, it doesn't have to be a partnership for everybody. For some of you, it may be. For others, it may be, like I said, maybe a workout that doesn't give you as much, or a way to eat that doesn't give you as much, or another, maybe where you live, the neighborhood doesn't vibrate with you anymore. So whatever it is for you, you need to make sure that you are really respecting your boundaries, respecting your feelings, and seeing where you give too much and not receiving as much as you used to. And are you okay with that? If you are, good. If you're not, you need to cut the cord.
Wow. Okay, you're talking like a Scorpio right now with that Pluto energy. I love it. Thank you, Sophie. That makes a lot of sense. And plus, you were intuitively talking about partnerships, but I think that has to do with the nodes being in the relationship axis. So I think we're all balancing out a lot of karmic connections, and also the way that we exchange energies with other people. I think everybody has to reevaluate that, let's say, balance and exchange of energy, if that makes sense. Meg, I'd like to bring you in. Do you have, does that resonate, first of all? Also, could you give a little bit more guidance about how to, let's say, how to deal with that Pluto being in the very last degrees of Capricorn until January 20th?
Yeah, well, that's a very good question. And I like what Sophie brought up about temptation, because Pluto in astrology also rules temptation, and the lessons and the learnings of that, that sometimes there's temptations in life that we know deep down it's not in alignment, right? You know right away when something comes up and it's not really in alignment, but there's that temptation to go for it, whether that's sexual, Pluto rules sexual, or because money's involved, that can be Pluto too. Anything that makes us feel powerful, Pluto. But we need to be honest with ourselves right now, especially with Pluto at such a critical degree that there can almost be, I'm feeling from spirit, like instant feedback, instant karma, if you will, acting out on certain temptations, or I'm hearing making certain deals with the devil, or what, the dark side of life that's not in alignment. So we need to be really, I'll use the word on guard. I think this whole month with Pluto ingressing into a new sign, we're going through Pluto at that critical anaretic degree. We need to be honest with ourselves about the toxicity in our life and what are the temptations, if there are any, that we know deep down inside it's not in alignment. But there's usually, with a temptation, not all the time, but usually there's a fast satisfaction that comes with it that's not really long lasting, not all the time, but sometimes, that it doesn't last. So just remind yourselves of that, you guys, especially if it has to do with relationships. I feel that it's better in the long term, Capricorn, if you stick to your values and your own commitments to yourself, rather than selling yourself out to something that's not in alignment. So it's a big test right now.
Wow.
And I feel like pulling hard, if that's okay,
yeah,
on how we can deal with that Pluto energy right now too.
Please do. I think we all need those cards right now.
Okay. So let's see here. Wow. Okay. Okay, that is very interesting. So first we've got Ceres, which is an asteroid, not a planet, but an asteroid, who is all about nurturing and the divine feminine. So one way we can deal with this is taking extra time to nurture ourselves, do self-care, not being caught up in other people's energies, because that can actually scatter our energy. And then when temptations or things come up, we're not as strong. We've got the strength card to be able to deal with it and maybe say no when we need to, right? So it's feeling like it's really important for us to keep our energy strong so that when we need to say no, we can actually say no. And this is very past life stuff coming up, because we got the South Node card. So, and it's interesting, like you were saying, Julie, with this new moon, we got a T-square between the nodes and the moon. So that one of the only little bits of tension in the new moon, we got Pluto at a critical degree and the new moon square the nodes. It's like things from our past trying to test us too. So anybody from the past trying to come forward, anything that feels like past life, I would say red flag, pay attention to that, double check, triple check, all of that. Would you guys say that resonates?
It does. It does. And yeah, I'm feeling like this Pluto at 29 degree just about to shift and to push this big age of Aquarius even forward. I feel like it's bringing a lot of past karma things, and especially while this new moon is T-squaring the nodes, which are, as I said, very karmic. So that's making a lot of sense what you're saying. And I think we're going to be even more tested towards the end of January, Meg, when we looked at the other full moon, which is going to be T-squaring Jupiter. So to me, it's like our values, our sense of purpose is being tested by the universe to know if we're willing to sell ourselves to, let's say, to the dark side or not, to believe in our own, let's say, values. So I think you're totally on point, and everything you said really, really, really resonates. Let me know in the chat if that resonates to you as well. Thank you, Gail. Hit the like button. Yeah, it really helps us. Okay, Sophie, does that resonate with you? What we're talking about, the South Node, a lot of past karmic patterns and relationships coming into our field of awareness at this time. So I'd like to get your input on that first, and also could we maybe pull cards on why are those karmic relationships and pattern showing up right now? What do we need to do with that? Is it just like really cutting the cords, or do we need to, let's say, stay in a form of relationship to maybe have a deepening of our learning experience?
Sure. And Meg, on your card of nature, I don't know if you saw it, but there was I don't know the word in English, the kind of sword that the death card has in his hand. So on top of having this thing on the card, you also had the South Node. So it's really death, and it's really an ending and then a new phase. So that's super interesting that you pull those cards and that we're talking now about past life. So yes, it resonates for me, because every time that you try to level up, you need to close lessons. Otherwise, you're still in those lessons. So if you want to just go to the next level, you need to just finish your own work that you're working on and then get your diploma from those things and move on to the next level. That's basically, I feel, what we're doing right now. And if you're not able to make those choices at the moment for any excuses, or if you are not feeling that you have learned enough, you need more. Some of us will need more lessons. You can stay in that lesson, and others can say, no, I'm done. I have learned. I had enough. I'm cutting the cords. I'm moving. And then I don't stick with that same lesson coming again and again and again.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. And like, I really resonate with that when you're talking about up leveling. And I think like we're all up leveling in some kind of way, and especially with that Pluto moving into Aquarius as of January 20th. So just 11 days from now. Wow, I'm talking about the new moon on 11/1, so 1/1/1, and then in 11 days we've got Pluto moving into Aquarius. So I think it's leading me to think that we have also a lot of letting go, but also a lot of manifestation potential, which to me is like the number one. All right, so I'd like to bring you, Sophie, back onto the screen, because I think that this new moon is a really huge manifestation portal. And I just want to bring Diane's comment onto the screen. So she's saying, very much looking forward to the new moon. I got my list of requests ready. Love that, Diane. So I'd like to ask you, Sophie, what are your most effective manifestation tools, or manifestation tools that you're using personally or that you saw are effective on other people?
I've been talking about it, so sorry if I repeat it, but I am super lazy in life and I love shortcut. I love it. So when it comes to manifestation, my favorite way is feng shui. And why? It's because I do it once and it's done. And the house manifests for you. But doing what I do with the tarot, I felt guided when I started to learn about feng shui. That was nowhere in no books or online that information. I just wanted to do it for me. So that may be new information if you are doing feng shui already and you love it. What I do is I take a tarot deck that I don't use anymore because maybe it's too old or I don't like it or whatever the reason. You buy a cheap one if you don't have one. And I take the cards that I want to manifest the energy in that area of my life. So let's say you want to have abundance, then I will have maybe Ace of Pentacles, and I will take also 10 of Pentacles. And sometimes you can even have stickers like those. I mean, there is a lot of stickers of tarot cards that you just can take and just put anywhere in that area of your kitchen or whatever for you. It's your abundance area. And what I love to do is that if you have frame or you have something on your wall, I just tape them behind. So nobody has to see your feng shui. Nobody has to, it's not because it's your love area that you have to paint it pink, you have to have hearts. I do it behind the frame that I already have, as long as the frame itself doesn't hurt what I want to manifest. It's good. I leave it there. So if you go in my home, you're going to see that I tape things underneath the cabinets on the kitchen. In the kitchen. I also have many tarot cards behind every frame, everything on the wall. The bed frame also has something taped behind it. I use every space so I don't have to redo my whole home just because it's feng shui to do a color or a shape. And that's how I manifest the most.
Wow, I love that, Sophie. Thank you for teaching us about all of your secrets. I love that. And Shannon, thank you so much. Enjoying your show tonight. This all makes so much sense. Thank you very much for your contribution. Appreciate it. And Miriam is saying, love it, Sophie. I'm taking Elena's class now. Awesome. Thank you, Miriam, for sharing. And on that note, I just wanted to share the courses ready, and it has been ready since December. So if you'd like to get into manifesting using feng shui, Elena's teaching feng shui essentials on the academy. She did a really special, let's say, structure about this course. So she divided it into the 9 bagwas, the 9 guas of your home. So the 9 sections of manifestation. So let's say you have a relationship sector, you have a prosperity sector, you have a health sector, and so forth. And also she does a meditation on each of the 9 corners for you to really sit into the energy of your home and see what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what could be upgraded. So I think it's a really unique way that she did this feng shui course. So check that out if that's of any interest. But I do agree that feng shui is a really powerful way of manifesting for sure. And I'd like to bring you, Meg, onto the screen and ask you, what are your personal manifestation rituals? And which one do you think are more, let's say, that can work the most for this new moon in Capricorn?
Very good question. Well, as an astrologer, whenever we have a new moon, those are our natural times of manifesting and putting our intentions out. And really, whatever sign that moon is in is the best areas of life to be focusing on for manifestations and intentions to put out. So that's kind of how I personally operate. I really love to do things with my words. Okay, so to say things out loud, whether that's chanting or repeating things over and over again, writing things down. Maybe it's my South Node in Gemini, I don't know, but I just love words and singing. And, you know, as that ancient phrase is, abracadabra, which means I create when I speak.
Wow.
Right? So on those new moon portals, creating as we speak, but also I really feel like, and maybe it's my moon in Capricorn, it's so much more powerful when we take action, not just meditate and sitting there and put the intention out. when you also take action on the manifestation, you're showing the universe that you're serious about it.
Yep.
Right? So saying it out loud is great. Doing a vision board is great. All those different methods are great. But if you're not taking the steps every day or a few times a week to manifest it, maybe it won't be as strong. Right? But I love what you were saying, Sophie, about the feng shui and doing things with your home. I think that's super cool to do and also really works. And also with manifestation, you need to be realistic. That's a really big thing too. And I think that's one of the things why this new moon in Capricorn is great. But really, any time of manifestation, you got to be realistic, right? So if you're someone that I've been noticing with the clients, our beautiful soul family out there, a lot of people are wanting to start their own businesses, maybe their own channels, utilize social media, maybe being a little bit realistic instead of saying, I'm going to have 1 million followers by the end of the year. Not trying to say you can't have that, but maybe being a little bit realistic around what if you made it like 50,000 or 20,000? Like, how does your body feel when you say, I'm going to have 1 million subscribers? Do you even believe that? Or are you currently at a place where you maybe believe like 10,000? Then it'll more easily manifest if you actually have the belief behind it, right? So I think it's important to be really realistic with yourself also.
Such a good point. Yeah. And I I could hear the Capricorn moon talking while you were talking, Meg, because you were saying be realistic. Also, you reminded me of something else. Put in the work. Yes, that's very Capricorn moon. And I think this is really good advice, especially for that new moon, because we've got Mars there. And Mars is your action, your drive, your energy. And it's in Capricorn. So Capricorn is an earth sign. So it's not like let's say a water new moon where you can manifest just with your emotions and with your like the way you're feeling, the energies. When it's in an earth sign, it means that you need to put something in the tangible world forward in order for you to help manifest your goals. So in Mars is also showing you that you need to take the first baby step of wherever you want to be. So taking action, and I would say also creating something in the matter. I like making crystal grids. I think whenever we have a new moon in the earth sign, I think it's really well, it correlates really well with the energy of the earth. So anything you can really build, so writing down also, anything that makes it tangible is also earth. So I think these are all really great ways. And I love also what you said, Sophie, about having an oracle card or a tarot card. Usually when I do my crystal grids, I like to take a tarot cards that really, let's say, expresses what I want to manifest, and I put it right near my crystal grid. So I think it's like creating even more. We got this creation energy. Okay, I'd like to ask you, Sophie, what do the cards want us to know about the manifestation potential for this new moon, and what is it best to ask for this new moon? What should we manifest?
Success.
Whoa.
So we're been talking about career a lot. And yes, Meg, we need to really respect what we feel. If we're asking for too much, it's not going to manifest. Not because it's too much, just because you're not aligned with this, you're not believing in it, you're not in that frequency. If you believe it, that you're going to have, let's say, 10 million, like you were saying, do it. You're manifesting success, whatever success is for you. So it could be almost anything, but you're manifesting success. You're manifesting also the attention of people on you. So I think you're going to be able to attract people looking and paying attention to what you're creating and where you want to go, and maybe having the support of many people around you on where finally you are heading.
Wow, that's very Capricornian. I love it. Thank you, Sophie. And I'd like to bring you Meg also. And if you have your cards nearby, I'd like to know about what it is what is the power of this new moon? Like, what's the big portal of this new moon? What is it about?
Okay. I like that.
Some people have been talking about like DNA upgrades, energetic upgrades. So I want to see what the cards have to say.
Okay, I'm also going to pull a bonus card from, this is one of my friend's new decks that she just made called the Hero Tarot that I just got.
Nice.
So I feel like I'm going to pull some astrology ones. I just pulled some, but I also want to get a bonus card here because this is not what I was expecting at all.
Oh,
okay. Interesting. So we've got two cards from the astrology deck, the Gemini card and the Juno card, which is an asteroid Juno, that both have to do with people in our lives. Gemini is communication, our friends, our siblings, our cousins, our socialization, you know, how we are with other people, how we communicate. And then Juno is partnerships. So this is interesting because I'm wondering, Julie, if you can think of anything with the chart that has to do with Mercury or partnerships or something like that going on, because this is really coming up in the cards, is that there's something about our relationships changing. We've got the progressions card, which is changes that have to happen in life. So this could even be like the relationship with ourself, us committing even deeper to the relationship with ourself, or there can be a really big theme of people in our life that we've committed to. Capricorn rules commitment, that maybe there's new commitments that need to be forged. Maybe there's old ones that need to be let go. I don't know. What are you guys feeling around this? Because this is pretty strong coming through.
yeah. Sophie, do you want to?
Yeah, sure. I think it's the nodes. Yeah. I think it's the nodes. Why? Because for those of you who don't understand that concept of the nodes and where it is right now, it's you, what you want for you alone versus what you want with partnerships, and partnership in love, business, people around you that you commit to, things like that. So I think it's you versus you and others. So groups that you are part of. So that's in that sense where we're getting relationship, but that's not necessarily one type of relationship. So that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And like this new moon is making a T-square to the relationship axis. So I think the cards describe it perfectly. And I'm glad I asked you the question, Meg, because I think we could have overlooked this relationship aspect to this new moon because it's in Capricorn. So we think like work, manifestation, future, but it has to do also with what we want for ourselves, as you said it so well, Sophie, and what do we expect in relationships and all kind of relationships. So I feel like that is bringing it's being brought to the forefront of our awareness for a reason, and the cards wanted to let us know, remind us, I guess, if that makes sense, Meg.
Yeah, and I just want to share too that the bonus card I got, King of Swords, make wise decisions. Wow.
Yeah, with that T-square and that choice portal. Wow. Okay.
If I can add something to it, I think it's also you versus, you mentioned that, Julie, earlier. I think it's also you versus your family when it comes to work, in a sense that if you're committing to a job that is asking you a lot of time and a lot of sacrifices, and now you have this responsibility of looking, okay, is it working? Am I working too much? Am I okay with this? Am I sacrificing time with my family? Am I still okay with that sacrifice? And that's what you want to do, maybe for your career, for your ambition, versus maybe your family, versus also who you work with. Maybe you're going to have consequences at your work if you're not putting that amount of hours, or consequences at home if you are putting that amount of hours. So that could be an angle too.
Yeah, such a good point. Thank you, guys. I think you guys brought a lot of clarity to that new moon. Okay, a lot of questions about how do we make a crystal grid? So I have Louise asking, how do you do a crystal grid? Eternal Sunshine is asking, where do you place the crystal grid? Really good questions. And Archie Jr. is saying, yes, amplify things in pyramids. So let's get back to, well, I'll give you my understanding of that. And of course, there are really a lot of videos on YouTube explaining how to do crystal grids. There are many, many ways, but it's really simple. I personally have like a little plate with the symbols of the cycles of the moon. With sacred geometry on it. So I like, yeah, exactly. So I like to place my crystals on that, but you do not need a plate. It's just for fun, whatever feels like resonates with you. You can also just use crystals like on a table, on a sacred space. Usually I like to place it on my sacred altar, like a sacred space that you create for yourself. Let's say you put some incense, some sage, let's say pictures of what you'd like to manifest. So you try to have a little sacred space for yourself where it feels right in your home, where it feels protected. So that's where I would put it. And as far as creating it, I like to put either a pyramid in the center. Well, that's just me, and I'll ask you guys after if you do it differently. I like to put a pyramid or let's say a generator, like let's say a crystal that's more in vertical, yes, exactly like that, obelisk or something that is pointy. So that could be a grid generator. And let's say according to what you want to manifest, it could be a clear quartz or it could be a crystal that holds, let's say, an energy similar to what you'd like to manifest. I like to put usually a clear quartz because I feel like it's a really good channel of energy. So this is the center of my crystal grid, and then I place crystal according to what I want to manifest with the colors, with the chakras, with the energy of the crystals in a geometric way. So that's kind of the most important thing here, I think, to remember, like to have symmetry and to make a pattern that feels like it embodies the, let's say, the frequency of what you want to manifest into the world, with the colors, with the choice of crystals. And you don't need, honestly, to do a whole bunch of research. Just do something that feels right intuitively with what you'd like to manifest. I think geometry is super important. I think placing it where it feels sacred to you in your home. And I like to put some sage. I like to put some incense and put some tarot cards of what I like to manifest. And then I leave it for the night, but that's just me. I like to do it, let's say, before a new moon, and I leave it there for the whole night. And in the morning, I say thank you, and I release like my little creation there. I'd like to ask both Meg and Sophie, do you do it that way? Do you do it differently? Does that make sense? Let me ask you, Meg, first.
Yeah, well, I first learned about crystal grids when I did my Reiki practitioner course. That was one of the things we learned when I did that. And so I really like to do kind of like the Reiki way, where you can do specific kind of crystals in a certain way, and there's a routine of it, but I like to go intuitive with the grid. So in the middle of the grid, yeah, a pyramid or something that is like a generator shape is really good. And then I like to personally write down my intentions or whatever it is I'm manifesting, put that under the middle crystal, and then do whatever shape I'm intuitively feeling around that middle crystal, whether it's a circle or a triangle or just a random kind of pattern, with the intention of these crystals or rocks or minerals are helping to support my intention. And I like to put Reiki into each of those crystals and kind of go around creating like a Reiki manifestation portal, if you will. So that's kind of the way that I like to do it. And it's all about your intention. With a lot of spiritual things, you know, there can be rules around it, but as long as you feel good and you're doing what naturally feels good to you, I think that's the most important thing. And just being clear on your intention. And I also would love to put it on my altar. That would be my most favorite place to put something like that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Meg. That's such a good point. And Archie Junior is saying the center of your home is very powerful. Yes. Thank you for that. And in my new house, I have a cathedral roof in one sector of my house. So I think if you do have that, it makes a pyramid shape. It's a really good place also to place your crystal grid. And also, we have another really good question. Eternal Sunshine, she was asking more where to place a crystal grid in relation to feng shui in your house. So I'd like to ask you, Sophie, do you use the feng shui sectors to put the crystal grid in? Is it pertaining to your intention you like to manifest, or do you always do like the crystal grid in the same sector of your home?
Okay, so you put me on a spotlight for this. So, I don't have a lot of attention span when it comes to Mars and Aries, guys. I don't have an attention span to do long time ritual like you do. I think it's wonderful, Meg, what you're doing. I'm really amazed at what you're doing. For me, this is my worst nightmare, to have to redo one with my Virgo brain needed perfection each month. I would, no, it's a no. So what I do, and I will answer that question because yes, I do have your answer, Eternal Sunshine. What I do instead, I do my Feng Shui, and I make sure I have one of those in each area of Feng Shui to manifest, because this is the pointy, the pyramid is the shape to generate. So I make sure that I have one of each. Well, if you can, or others, I mean, you do what you want with this, but this is my way of doing it. In each area of Feng Shui, I have one for the area, so it manifests itself. So this is what I do. But yes, if you want to know which area of Feng Shui it is the best to put it in, I think if it's just a general thing and you want to always put it in the same space, I would place it in the silver area, which is help and travel. Why? Because that's where you get your ancestors, that's where you get your guidance, that's where you're getting help from others. Or you can use the specific bagua, it's the area of your home, for something specific you want to bring in. So if it's touch money, you can put it in the wealth area. If it's love, you put it in the love, and etc.
Wow, thank you so much. That was a great answer. And I do agree with you. I think exactly as you said, I tend to do it always in the same place, but it's like because I have my altar there. So, but I think this time I'm going to really use, let's say, the gua in feng shui that connects with the intention that I want to have, because I think this new moon is really, really strong with that T-square with the nodes, if that makes sense. And Tim is saying, I charge up certain crystals on my grid, then carry them with me. So I think it's a really good tip that I didn't think about. So I think it's a really good one. So it kind of, you keep the energy with you even longer. So I think it's a beautiful one. Thank you, Tim, for sharing. Wow, and Archie Jr. is saying, I sleep in a 10-foot pyramid made of copper. Wow. Yeah, I saw some and I almost bought one at the same time. Maybe not a 10-foot, but I saw a copper one and I wanted to try to meditate under. Let me know if how that feel, Archie Jr. Wow. Okay. So I hope you got plenty of idea on how to, let's say, co-create with the universe during that really powerful portal that is this new moon that is coming up in 2 days. Yeah, thank you so much. Britt Merritt is saying, this is so exciting. Thank you, ladies. And I just wanted to end up this show by bringing a comment that I saw from Lisa. She's saying, also the year of the dragon. So, and Sophie's a dragon in Chinese astrology. So, fast, fiery energy. I love that. Can we maybe pull cards on this year of the dragon? What is it going to bring to, let's say, us, maybe in a more personal way?
Okay, this is not the right deck. Let's see.
And it's interesting. I didn't even think about it. And Elena and I, in the past week, have been texting dragons all the time. We've been joking about it.
Really?
And I didn't even think it was the year of the dragon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. So the dragon, there's too much card, guys. I will do it quickly. 6 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, 8 of Cups, and 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, and the Death card at the end. That's the full sentence. So the answer is, where we were lacking courage in the past, the dragon is there this year to make those change. That's why it's aligned with the number 8 of the year. That's why it's aligned with the astrology. It's because it brings, and it's super weird, I will have to search it after, but it brings a kind of a childish energy. I know dragon is also the creativity, so maybe that's why I'm sensing that. But this dragon is bringing this, I don't care, I don't have a fear and I just move forward. And that's where we needed the dragon, because a lot of things that we tried to do in the past did not succeed. And the dragon is entering your life saying, that's done. I am no longer staying put with obstacles. I am going for my full dream, and I'm bringing that change.
Wow. That makes so much sense. Thank you, Sophie. The dragon. Wow. Meg, I'd like to get your input on that. Have you been feeling the dragon so far? And maybe if we can end by pulling some cards for this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I haven't felt it. I can feel it coming in, but isn't it starting in February, the dragon year?
That's a really good question.
I
So
think
guys,
yeah,
guys, let us know in the chat if you know exactly when it is coming.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it starts in February. And I'm really excited because my friends that I know that, well, my friends, I have one close friend who's from China, and she's always saying that according to them, I'm not Chinese, so I don't mean to be disrespectful, obviously, but that dragon is like the luckiest in a lot of ways. And it's very, very positive. So
Wow.
I'm excited about that. And everything you were saying, Sophie, really, really resonated. So I love the energy of dragons. Definitely.
And Carol is saying the dragons have come to help raise the vibration on Earth. Wow, beautiful message, Carol.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So for this week, we need to use this new moon to seriously do some manifestation. These are two very positive cards. We've got the Leo card, which is all about confidence and being yourself and sharing your gifts and talents with the world and doing what you love and makes you happy. Like, one of the most positive things in astrology is the sign of Leo. And the midheaven card, which is the start of the 10th house of Capricorn. This new moon is in the sign of Capricorn. Midheaven is about, the keyword here is pinnacle, the peak of life, success. What are our true dreams and commitments that we want to make, because we can actually make them happen this week with this new moon. Those are two really good cards to get.
Wow, this is exciting. Thank you, Meg. I'm really excited. Thank you, Mary Grace. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Wow. So I hope you guys are as excited as we are about this really beautiful manifestation portal. Probably one of the most positive new moon or even full moon of the entire year. So really use it well. Try to focus on what it is your heart desires. In a very profound way. I think there is a lot of manifestation potential for the future. And of course, I'd like to finish by reminding everybody that if they'd like to book an appointment, a one-on-one consultation with either Sophie or Meg, it's possible to do it right now. Don't forget to use Beyond Mystic in one word to get 10% off. And I'd like to ask you both, ladies, where are we booking in right now? Just so it gives like a general idea to everybody. Sophie, where are we right now looking at for the 1 hour bookings?
The end of the month. I have a few space left. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So you just added some dates. Awesome. So if you'd like to get a 1 hour consultation with Sophie, she has space at the end of the month. And Sophie's really good at answering questions. So if you'd like to look at some detailed part of your, let's say, life, you have a more specific questions, she's really great at that. She can really, let's say, have a lot of questions answered in an hour. And Meg, where are we looking at? Last time it was March. Are we still looking at March for the astrology consultations?
Yes, I've got, I think, 3 or 4 spots left for March. So that's a good time because that's the natural new year in astrology.
Yes, so perfect to start the natural new year in astrology with predictions and looking at your own birth chart and all the secrets that it holds. So thank you so much, ladies. It was a wonderful show. Really happy to have started the DFOs every week for this new year of 2024 with the two of you and with everybody watching. Thank you for supporting us and thank you for chatting with us. Really good energies as usual. So thank you, everybody, and sending you lots of love and happy new moon coming in very soon. Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye.